Hey everybody, let me I'm gonna flip this around. Sorry, it's saying that there's an error, but it seems like this is working. Sorry, that is like so close. Oh my god. All right, I don't know what it is, but I'm like super nervous about today's scope. This is like my 8th scope, and I really enjoy them, but I'm a little nervous today. So, oh yay, hearts! Thank you. We have people joining us. This is exciting. Awesome. Fantastic. Yeah, let's wait for a few more people to join. But yeah, I'm Heather Rebecca Wilson. I am an entrepreneur, a motivational speaker, and a multicultural women's success coach. And that's the topic for today's scope. But let's see who else is here. Hello, hello. Where are you guys joining us from? Hey, thank you for the hearts. I appreciate all of those. Thank you. Awesome. More people are joining. Thank you. I love these hearts from Texas. Fantastic. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hey, welcome everybody. I'm great. I'm excited. Lots of hearts. You guys keep them coming. This is fantastic. Thank you. Hello, hello from Turkey. All right, cool. I love scoping. It's like having a live show. Thank you for those hearts. Awesome. Yeah, keep them coming. Woohoo! More people are joining. Thank you. I'm getting compliments. This is nice. Okay, so I guess we should get started. Thank you. Thanks, guys. So I'm Heather Rebecca Wilson. Like I said, I'm an entrepreneur, a motivational speaker, and a multicultural women's success coach. And today's topic is the story behind why I became a multicultural women's success coach and my perspective on what it means to be multicultural. Thank you for the hearts. So I think most people know what a coach is and what a success coach is, but I think, you know, the fact that I've added multicultural to my title, you know, is a question for a lot of people. Like, why do you identify yourself that way? Thank you for the hearts. So let me tell you why I identify myself that way. Oh, I'm on the board of the Multicultural Motion Pick. Okay, cool. Fantastic. Well, welcome. Thanks for the hearts, you guys. So before I started my business as a coach, I was actually working in independent schools. My official title was K-12 Service Learning Coordinator, and I was actually working at the school that I went to, which, you know, plays into this story. But I started doing some diversity and inclusion work, you know, on the side. I volunteered to do it after I went to the Diversity Leadership Institute, which is run by the National Association of Independent Schools. So that was a week-long intensive training for all types of educators, for anybody who works in independent schools who wants to be a leader in the realm of diversity and inclusion, right? They want to create safe spaces for everybody, no matter their background, to be able to, you know, reach their fullest potential and develop a positive self-identity. So I was doing that. I had a terrific experience at DLI, which is what we call the Diversity Leadership Institute, and there's a big conference called the People of Color Conference, which is also run by the National Association of Independent Schools, and that's always in December, and it's in a different city every year. So in December of 2013, I attended POCC in Washington, D.C. Actually, it was home, so that's where I live, so it was easy to get to. It was at National Harbor. Thanks for the hearts, you guys. This is fantastic. So, you know, the conference is amazing. So you get to hear amazing keynote speakers, and then there are lots of workshops to attend. And then in the afternoons, you have the option to attend an affinity group meeting. And so for those of you who don't know or are unfamiliar with the term affinity group, it's basically like a safe space for people who self-identify in the same way to come together and talk and just support each other, because you know what it's like to be that person, right? So I went to the multiracial / multicultural affinity group. So affinity groups are awesome. You know, it's a safe space because basically you can share what you're going through in a place where everybody knows where you're coming from, and so you don't have to teach. So yeah, it's like a very, very special sacred space. So this was my first time attending an affinity group, actually. So there were 4 different sessions, and the session that really stood out to me the most and really sent me on this trajectory of becoming a multicultural women's success coach was like the end of the first or second session, and the facilitators did something which all good facilitators should do, which is they checked in with everybody emotionally. They were like, you know, how's everybody feeling? And so the technique that they used, you know, at the end of this session was called the hum-o-meter. And so, you know, what he told us to do was, you know, like, I want you to hum as loudly as you can, right? Just to like get a sense of like what it sounds like when everybody's humming. And then, you know, answer this question by like humming, you know, softly or loudly, like whatever. You'll get it. So at the end of this session, his question was, you know, how many people feel like beautiful in this room? Okay. And you guys know, like, multiracial people are like really good looking generally, right? So I was in, you know, and that was the first time I had been in a room with so many other multiracial people. So it was really a spiritual experience. It was really moving, and I felt like I had found my tribe. But anyway, so, you know, I had been doing a lot of work on myself. And so, you know, when he asked that, I was like, you know, I was humming really loudly. And of course, I was like one of like 3 or 4 people who were humming, and I just was like heartbroken by that, because everybody was like absolutely gorgeous in this room, and I could tell that people just were not feeling good about themselves, and it made me realize that you know what, they were probably in the space where I was like a year ago, or even several months ago. So yeah, that kind of just like, I had a light bulb moment, you know, in which I realized that, you know, what I had went through was not unique at all. And yeah, a lot of people had a similar experience. So basically my experience was, I was like the only multiracial person besides like my brother and my sister that I knew growing up. So I grew up in a very white suburb of Washington, D.C., and I went to an independent school that was very white. And so I, you know, didn't have anybody around to model, you know, how to like embrace my multiracial identity in a positive way. So I feel like I tell this story all the time, but I'm 37, by the way. So, so basically, like, up until I was 9 years old, I thought I was the same as everybody else. I mean, there were people, you know, with different ethnicities in my family. Like, I had, you know, black people in my family, Filipino people in my family, white people, and I just thought that was normal. You know, I didn't think it was like a good or a bad thing. It was just like the way my family looked. So up until I was about 9, I thought I was the same as everybody else. So I find out, this is like 4th grade, that a bunch of my friends are attending this dance class, this cotillion sort of thing, like once a month. And, you know, they dress up and dance and hang out and have etiquette lessons, blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to participate. So I asked my friends, you know, how do I get involved in this? And they're like, well, you have to be invited. So I tell my parents that I want to get invited to this thing, you know, and can they help me out? I asked them if they can help me out. And so, like, you know, they're nice. They want to make me happy. So they, I guess, started calling other parents, and they get back to me a few days later, a few weeks later, and say, you know, we talked to Miss So-and-so, and she says that you can maybe participate next year, right? Like, you can maybe do it next year. So I was like, this is really weird. And then I find out from my friends that they don't allow Black people to attend this class, right? And obviously they're hearing this from their parents because they're 9 years old. And like the crazy thing was, like, it seemed to be like okay with everybody. So I kind of, you know, tied my brain and my heart in a knot. I mean, I guess that's like the nicest way I can put it. But you know, obviously, like, I wasn't going to ever be invited to participate in this class because I was multiracial, right? My dad is Black, my mom is Filipino, and they're actually both multiracial themselves. But so that was a defining moment for me. So, like, up until that point, like I said, I thought I was the same as everybody else. But in that moment, I realized, okay, like, I'm never going to be a part of this group, and I need to be perfect in order to be loved. So that was a huge limiting belief that kind of ran my life for a long time. And that was a really traumatizing event for me too. So, you know, for a few years after that, I was kind of like struggling with my racial identity, like 9, 10, 11, 12 years old and beyond. And then I get to high school, you know, super excited to meet all the new African American students that were coming into our school. And I remember attending a BSU meeting and seeing people who knew me just completely be shocked that I showed up, right? Like, they didn't know I was Black, or they didn't think I was Black, or whatever. And so that was also very traumatizing. So I ran out of there, you know, because I really hoped that they would accept me and that, like, they were my peeps and this was my tribe, and they didn't accept me. So all I could do, because it's just a lot of heavy stuff to handle as a kid. I mean, all I could do was retreat into this like overachiever, perfectionist identity, right? I was just like, oh, I'm gonna be perfect, and you know, I'm gonna get straight A's, and I didn't get straight A's, by the way, but you know, I'm gonna get into this Ivy League school, and I'm gonna show everybody like how perfect I am. So yeah, so that limiting belief and those really traumatic experiences just kind of ran my life in a very insidious way for many, many years, basically up until the time I was 34, 35 years old. And I had to go through a breakup to realize that the power that these experiences and beliefs had over me. So what I had to do was rewire my brain, and I was able to do that. I had the help of a coach. Thank you. I'm getting lots of compliments. Thank you so much. You know, I got a coach. I was able to rewire my brain. And it's not because I'm special. It's just because I figured out how to hack my brain. And I felt like, you know, coming out of that, if I can do this, then anybody can do this. And so that really inspired me to become a coach. And that experience in that multiracial affinity group really showed me that, like, my experience is not unique. A lot of people go through something like this, and I think anybody who has felt like they're on the outside can relate to that story. It doesn't matter if it's like about socioeconomic status or race or ethnicity or sexual orientation or gender or your body size or your family structure. I mean, you can have affinity groups for children of divorced parents, right? You can have affinity groups for anything. It all depends on, you know, what people want and what people need. And I think, frankly, everybody needs support. Everybody needs community. So, yeah, so I am a multicultural women's success coach, you know, because of my personal experience, right? Like, this is my core story, my multiracial identity development, and how I was able to like overcome limiting beliefs and emotional blocks. But also, you know, I have professional experience doing this. So like I said, I was the service learning coordinator at this school, but I did a lot of diversity and inclusion work. I was a facilitator. I've presented at POCC. Actually, I presented last year. I did a workshop on the impact of storytelling on diversity work. So yeah, I mean, I've seen, you know, kids in school today who are struggling with cultivating a positive self-identity, and it's because they don't see themselves represented in the classroom, right? So Yeah, I mean, my mission, my purpose in life is to be a healing and loving and empowering presence in the lives of people around me, and being a coach allows me to live on purpose. And I am absolutely passionate about empowering women in particular through culturally competent personal mastery, spirituality, and financial success. I did a scope yesterday on what it means to be culturally competent, and basically, just really quickly, cultural competence is the ability to work across differences effectively with curiosity, humility, and non-judgment. What else did I want to tell you? Yeah, I just feel like diversity work is hugely important, and I feel like, diversity practitioners have like the hardest job in the world, because you're constantly managing other people's triggers and your own. People say crazy stuff to you all the time, and you just kind of have to like deal with it. But yeah, so you're managing people's triggers. That can be really exhausting, but also you're modeling for people and teaching other people how to have better relationships, and see, that we're all connected actually. Like whatever, you do to somebody else, you're actually doing to yourself. So yeah, I love the work that I was doing, but I ended up leaving my job because I wanted to focus on that aspect more. And I was actually coaching, I was using coaching skills a long time ago. I mean, I was a makeup artist before I was working at the school, and I remember coaching people in the makeup chair. Just using, active listening, mirroring, just being present with people, I think is what good coaches do, and allow clients to discover the wisdom that's already inside of them. So that's basically the story behind why I self-identify as a multicultural women's success coach. I feel like there are specific issues that people who self-identify as multiracial or multicultural have to deal with, and for me, it was like, I was not, black enough for the black side of my family. I wasn't Filipino enough for the Filipino side of my family, and I wasn't white enough for my white friends at school, right? So it's like I never felt like I belonged. I didn't feel like I was good enough, and it made me feel like shit about myself. So just to be completely honest, so I got tired of that, and I did something about it, and now I want to help other people do that. Especially because I feel like people who are multiracial or multicultural, we're in a special position where we are accessible to lots of different types of people. And so, in that way, I feel like we're bridge builders, and so when people come and ask me, what are you, or, where are your parents from, or where are you from, that's an opportunity to have a really interesting conversation, right? About, the categories that we force people into, like, do they really make sense anymore? And, what is identity? Identity is so fluid now. So, yeah, that's why I call myself a multicultural women's success coach. I love working with all different types of women, and I'm curious about the experiences of people who are unlike me. And yeah, I understand the impact, that identity will have on your life. And I'm not saying that like every, that there's one multicultural or one multiracial experience. There certainly isn't, but I definitely have seen some serious patterns. And just to throw some stats out for you guys, so the year 2000 was the first time that multiracial people could self-identify on the US Census, right? So that was like the first time you could like check off more than one box. I was actually a census worker in 2010, and it was interesting. The number of people that self-identified as multiracial in 2010 actually grew 30% from the number that self-identified in 2000. So multiracials are actually the fastest growing population in the United States. And I have also read that in 2042, whites will be in the minority in this country, right? So, yeah, America's changing, and we need leaders to kind of usher us into this new age. So the other thing I wanted to tell you guys is that, and I've been talking about this all week, I have a telecourse that is launching next week. It's called Master Your Mix, the Multicultural Woman's Guide to Success. And, you know, and that's another reason why I wanted to talk about, you know, why I call myself a multiracial multicultural women's success coach, because people are like, what is multicultural? What does that actually mean? I think there's a lot of confusion around it. So, you know, I would say that this course is for, you know, smart, creative, ambitious women that crave, to have a deeper and more integrated understanding of their leadership identity and their vision for the world. So being multicultural, I think if you're, okay, obviously if your parents are from two different cultures, this applies to you. I think if you grew up in one culture and live in another, you could be multicultural. I also think that if like your family culture was different from the majority culture, like what was going on at home, what was different than what was going on at school, like you could, self-identify as multicultural. But honestly, I think this course is really for anybody that desires to be more culturally competent, which I said before is, the ability to work effectively across differences with curiosity, humility, and non-judgment. Also, I think it's for anybody that just wants to have better, more authentic relationships with every person in their life, right? I mean, this is friends, family, romantic partners, business partners, team members, clients. I mean, it's going to affect all of your relationships. I think if you're just curious about the experiences of other people, this course is really great for you. So let me tell you a little bit about the structure of it. So there are going to be 4 modules, and you'll call in at a certain time. All of the information will be on the sales page. It's not ready yet, though. So the first module is all about your story, right? Your identity journey and the different cultures that have influenced you growing up, right? And we're going to kind of sift through all that stuff and make sense of it and unpack it. Module 2 is all about your, desires and your desired lifestyle and what you want to create for yourself. And, separating what family might want or what society wants from what you actually want for yourself. Module 3 is going to be all about mindset, and we're going to talk about wealth consciousness, we're going to talk about spirituality, just habits of success. Mindset is huge. So there was something else. Anyway, we'll get to it later. And then the 4th module is just bringing it all together with like identifying your purpose and leadership vision. So I'm really excited about the course. It's going to be awesome. So like I said, you'll call in at a certain time. You'll get worksheets ahead of time. I'll talk for a bit, and then we'll have some Q&A afterwards, and then I'm going to record all of it, and then it'll be available as an info product afterwards. But yeah, that is the plan. So it's called Master Your Mix, the Multicultural Woman's Guide to Success. So again, right, if it's for you if you self-identify as multicultural or multiracial, if you grew up in one culture and live in another, or if your family culture was different from the majority culture growing up, or it's for anybody that just wants to be more culturally competent. And honestly, everybody should be more culturally competent. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of my story and how I define multicultural, but I would love to know, what you guys think, if you have any questions. Like I said, I was really nervous about this scope. I don't know, I love what I do. I'm really, really excited about this course. I also offer private coaching for people, and I have 90-day packages, and I also do intensives, and I'm traveling to Italy at the end of the month, so I am going to be holding some spots open for some global luxury intensives in Florence, Italy. If anybody's interested, definitely send me an email, or you can go to the website. It's heatherrebeccawilson.com, and we can have a little chat and see if it's the right fit for you. So yeah, I've got the course, private coaching, 90-day program, or an intensive. I do have a free training. It's a video. It's called Growing Up Multiracial to Global Woman Entrepreneur. When you download it, you will also receive a bonus PDF that outlines, the main points of the training. So you'll basically hear, more about my story, and I'll share with you the 5 success strategies that I have used to really reach my personal and professional potential. I'm still on my journey, but I've been through a lot, and I'm not unique. Like I said, I feel like everybody has their thing they've got to go through, but I definitely have some strategies that were awesome for me, and I know that they will work for you too. So please check that out. So yeah, you definitely want to go to this link. I'm going to show it to you right now. Yeah, this is the link. This is the bit.ly link, the bit.ly link. The video is awesome. The PDF is awesome. I put a lot of thought into it. I'm really proud of it, and you're going to get a lot out of it. You're going to get on my email list when you download this, so you're going to get all the updates about the course, Master Your Mix, the Multicultural Woman's Guide to Success. So definitely check that out. What else? So you guys, I am on Instagram. I'm going to close this now. You got this? All right. I'm on Instagram. My handle is Heather Rebecca Wilson. I have a Facebook business group. It's Heather Rebecca Wilson. I have 2 Facebook groups besides the business page. So there's the Glamorous Global Entrepreneur, and check that out. Read the description. If it resonates with you, definitely join. And then another one called Mixing It Up in Business that is specifically for multicultural or multiracial entrepreneurs. So that's like an affinity space. So if you self-identify that way, definitely head on over there and check it out. And I encourage you to join. I'm really excited about, building a community of cool, like-minded people who are interested in cultural competence, personal development, spirituality, all this good stuff, women's empowerment. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm in there all the time, and I want to meet you, and I want to create a really cool community. So definitely get in touch. All right, I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. I don't think so. But yeah, thank you for listening. I'm going to try to be on again tomorrow. I want to talk a little bit more about affinity groups and how they're different from alliance groups and interest groups. That's something I want to address. I don't know if I'm going to talk about that tomorrow, but I definitely will get to that. But yeah, the course is coming out. I'm super excited. Get on the list so that you can hear all about it first. I am going to have some early bird pricing and special bonuses for people who, sign up early, but it's going to be great. All right. Thanks, you guys. I hope that serves you. Thanks for letting me be vulnerable here. Yeah, so thanks. Have a great day. All right. Bye.